Turbo Thunder Gaming.
Where are you going?
Hello and welcome back to probably my last ever Command & Conquer video. I did a tier list picture like maybe 2-3 years ago on a Discord. It did get some feedback, someone disagreed, but most of the top players agreed. And I'm going to do that now as a video and try to explain what I mean with everything. And when I looked up this tier list, I see they have changed all the avatars. They've even added base defenses and super weapons, which is awesome because my previous video was about these two super weapons. And they're actually just useless because it costs so much to get them. But anyways, we have S, which is fantastic. I'm gonna put all the actual broken OP units here that actually needed some balance changes. And then excellent, basically all the meta here. Laudable units that actually are good in specific circumstances that can break the meta. There is, it's not a meta unit, but they do see a lot of plays. Mediocre, some fun units that you can use that isn't good, but if you are a lot better player, you can use these to still win. Like stealth tank could be here, for example. Deficient, probably a unit you have to use in specific situations, but are just bad units. Because there are some units you see every single game. It doesn't mean it's a good unit. You just have no other options. Like Rocket Soldier comes to mind. This might be here. And terrible are just units you can never use to actually win. Like I have tried all of these units, and terrible would be units I try to use versus bad players and actually lost. Like just absolute trash units that make you lose unlosable games. So, no further ado, I'm gonna first do, just to make it more interesting, I'm gonna do the GDI first, and then, if I have a room, add the node units. Most of these are the same faction, so it's gonna be almost the same. So fantastic, obviously engineer. It's the most broken unit in the game. 500 and you can capture any structure. And in this game, the MCV costs 5,000. So yeah, 500 to just instantly capture a 5,000 unit structure, and makes you able to also sell it, get 5 minigunners, 2,500. And if you can also capture airstrips or war weapons factories. Oh yeah, and obviously if you capture a refinery, it's also golden. There's just too many options for the engineer to just break a game. And both factions have engineers. And then excellent meta units. Grenadier, obviously. I would say minigunners too. Then we have medium tank. Basically the whole GDI army. They are just great. Best tier 1 shenanigans. Orcas here. You need a lot more than Apaches to kill buildings, but if you get that, is it 8 orcas? Yeah, you can pretty much dump the enemy base, especially on Syria mirrors, because there's lack of anti-air. Just for the memes, I'm gonna put mammoth tank here. There is one scenario in Syria mirrors. If the other guy goes medium tanks, gren spam, and also orcas, he won't have enough money to overwhelm one unit type. And the mammoth tank kind of soft counters everything here. Might still be a mediocre, because mass medium tanks kill it and mass orcas kill it. So, but in some situations you can get a win. Is there anything else? GDI also has so few units. It's laughable. Deficient, I will put Humvee. You almost always see one Humvee because it's the only scout vehicle GDI has. As I said, it doesn't mean it's a good unit. It's the only option they have. And if you do kill the enemy construction yard and airstrip, Humvees do okay versus infantries. They cost 100 more than buggies, but they're still a good unit. It's just more expensive than a buggy. And I would also put rocket soldiers here. It's the only counter early game versus Apache Rush. Like you can't even... They are decent versus a per medium tank spam, but medium tanks, if micro, can just crush them. So if you don't babysit them, they even lose to what they're supposed to hard counter. They have some use. And absolute terrible units, I would put, if I can even find it, MRLS, yeah. I had, the one time I actually had good use of these was versus someone I broke their construction yard and weapons factory. So they are kind of decent long range anti-infantry. But I almost lost that game thanks to this. I could have just have spammed Humvees anyways, or Grenadiers. Or Commandos, actually. I would put them here. Or maybe even mediocre. There's the only time I see in good players actually take to the last tier, it's only to get Commandos. They can kill infantries from long range, so they are actually better than the MRLS at killing infantries. And they also have a C4. I actually lost a game to a commando. Maybe here, because it's so expensive to actually get out the commando. But they're not terrible. Oh yeah, APC. The one patch that made them behind repair facility, because APC engineer was just breaking the meta. Now it's not seen that much, but it's still a really, really good unit. I might actually even put it there, maybe even excellent. They're the fastest crushing units. That's why they are called the vacuum cleaner. They can actually crush infantries. So a few APCs can just massacre a barracks build. I did meme on the tournament. I was a node. I built APC and flamethrowers. I actually did get weapons factory and refinery kill and lots of damage, but still lost heavily. Harvesters. This is actually the perfect line for harvesters because there's a few scenarios in the game. If the enemy goes like bike rush, kills all your harvesters and then bunkers up. If you have an airstrip and no construction yard, you can replace all the refineries with the harvesters. If you have refineries and construction yards, it's obviously actually faster to just build a refinery. However, MCV, It's actually just terrible. You need temple tech to unlock it, and it costs 5,000. Even at tier 1, if you needed no temple tech for this, it's still 5,000. Let's move on to the node tier list, and obviously engineer. And I'm gonna actually put Apaches here, because 4 Apaches early game can destroy a construction yard. That's why the Apache is so strong. And people say like a node, you have bikes and SAM sites and so many other options. But if they Apache you, you can only get out hand of node and a few refs. So you are at the same scenario as CDI. You only have rocket soldiers. If they wait, so you get out your airstrip, then obviously yes, you can't Apache a node. But if they instantly go for your construction yard, you are at the same scenario as ZDI. And Apache kills rocket soldiers too. So it's just broken. And I actually want to put node buggy here, because this is the only unit you see in pro games. And this is also the reason part of the reason I stopped playing this game. It's not an RTS game because of these 3 units. All the noobs and trolls, they only Apaches or try to walk engineers in your base. And every good player just has the macro and APM and buggy control. Buggies and bikes. But bikes are actually balanced, I would say. They are 500. Very fragile. Nothing can hit them if you move them. But obviously, if they just remove engineer and make a pass, maybe, I don't know, 2,000 might be too much, I don't know. But if they made buggy 350, that would be a ripple effect and basically rebalance the whole game. Yeah, bikes are good, but it needs your attention. Oh yeah, flamethrowers, flame boys, they are great units. Ooh, flame tank, the only unit in the game that's actually worth taking up. Flame tanks will beat a Grand Rush. Sometimes even a buggy rusher. They have great value. Great unit. Actually perfectly balanced, good unit. You need to take up, you need a comm center to get it out. It's slow, expensive, but it does its work. It dies to medium tanks and micro bikes, but it kills everything it's supposed to do. It's just a great unit. Love it. I would almost put this here, but this needs a comm center and obelisk of light, and you only see it in stalemates, but it's still a great unit. Mediocre would be bad. It's not mediocre, it's a really great unit. It's 750 and it has the longest range in the game. It can outrange the obelisk of light, kills mass infantry. It's excellent, but it needs tech. Mediocre. I kind of want to put the artillery here. It's shit on everything except there's one tactic in the game where someone goes mass. Also Apaches, if they get the construction yard and then immediately go for airstrip and then spam artilleries. Chokehold to kill infantry spam. You can still strafe the units and like micro win the artilleries. Like it's still super bad. It's kind of good versus infantry mass, but as a defense, you can never attack with an artillery. They don't even outrange the fucking structures. Yeah, artillery unit that gets smashed by base defenses. It's just... You can kill infantry. That's it. If the game had like dropships, and it did like 4 artillery dropship, and it could level construction yards, then it would be good. But there's no units that can transport vehicles. Okay, I put these for now on mediocre. Stealth tank. It can crush units. If you get it inside the enemy base and they don't know about it, you can crush engineers and even commandos in the enemy base. And it's a scout. I might actually put it on mediocre. The weapon sucks and the stealth sucks, but it can, like a stealthed crush mechanism. That's the only thing that's the saving grace. And you can't crush with the bike. And I have seen good games where a stealth tank kills a construction yard because the other guy just isn't paying attention to one single guy shooting at your buildings. So you can get cute with it. And I did a stealth tank video. One idea was to also block refineries, but as soon as the harvester bumps into the stealth, it kind of reveals it. I'm actually put this on mediocre because it do counter buggies. They can crush, which is good. Like if someone, in an odd mirror, if they go buggy spam, minigun spam, the light tank kind of counters that. You can crush the infantry and kill the buggies. But it's just a trash version of medium tank. It's the same like Humvee is a trash version of a buggy. Light tank is a trash version of medium tank. But it's still a better unit than the Humvee. Oh yeah, and this. I want to put it on terrible, but if you get it out, it actually a better flamethrower. If you ever get temper deck, I would actually, like not even joking, I would rather build chem warriors than flamethrowers. They defend your base better because they do good damage versus all units. And you can have them in a groups without them killing each other. It's like a noob-friendly flamethrower. Yeah, when you get it late game, there's hardly any Tiberian left, so the whole Tiberium immunity is just pointless. If this was tier 1, it would still be maybe here. It's still slower and more expensive than the flamethrower. Anyways, that's the units, and you can see how limited the game is. So if one unit is OP, everything else is pointless. Now the base defenses, it's actually broken. It's 600 and you sell it for 300 and you get 3 minigunners. I did read something about when the DOS version, it cost like 200 or something. So I think something went wrong from the beginning, because I also made a video about repair rates and repair costs, and I think the turret was the cheapest one to repair. So I don't think it counts the 600, it counts the 200 instead. So they never fixed that repair feature when they made the turret cost more. Samsite, it's cute. They kill, there's 2 targets in the game. I just realized these don't have Chinooks. Once again, Chinook is only broken because of engineering. But as the unit itself, it's 1,500. It has no weapons. It dies to like 2 grenades or something. I don't know, it's like a mediocre. But with the engineer, it's broken. So anyways, obelisk. You actually see this in the game quite a lot. Obviously it doesn't pick buggy spam or infantries. It has a weakness, maybe here. It needs a lot of power. So usually if you kill one power plant, it's offline. If you time it, you can just sell it and get half the money back. So it usually pays for itself. I know people love the guard tower. It's so good on some pushes, like a grand rush push. And you spam guard towers. But they're 500 and they only kill units. Rockets only outrange, like everything outrange the guard tower. Or you need, if you get like 5 or 6 of them around your base, which actually happened in a tournament game, then they can shred buggies and bikes. Maybe mediocre, I don't know. I guess the meta is grand spam, so you see it a lot. Maybe even here, but everything outranges it. Alone, it kills nothing. I think 4 minigunners beat it. But yeah, the same with every structure. If you micro it, you can sell it, get 3 minigunners and the money back. So yeah, it's also broken. Maybe also laudable. There's one tactic with this. You also push into enemy base and spam it. It's only 1000 and it takes 20 power, which is like nothing. So you can't kill a power plant and get it offline. You can almost run like a full spam of these turrets with one power plant. But you need comm center for this and this. And this sadly don't unlock anything. The obelisk still unlocks a unit. That's good. They are mediocre. They are like one push use. I know someone likes the mammoth tank, but it's like between here. As I said before, it has like one scenario where it's excellent. Concrete walls. They actually have like 2 uses. They block light tank, mammoth tank, medium tank and turret. But it's 100 cost, so it's the same as a minigun. But you can sell it too, yeah. If you actually micro the concrete wall, you can sell the damaged. I think it has 3 stages. So sell the last stage and you get 50 back. And you can defend the obelisk with the concrete wall to kill the medium tanks. Maybe actually medium. Sandbag is the cheapest way to base scroll, and base scrolling is the key feature in the game. I think silo kind of wins because you get 2 tiles for 150. But this is 50. It's still cheaper than a silo. But I guess it's faster to spam silos. Yeah, it has it's not terrible because it actually, we found a use to the sandbag. But as a defense, it blows. It sucks. One rocket, one of any explosive will destroy it. This is terrible, however. Yeah, it's the only wall that's terrible. We found one use for it, and that's to build it, because everything can shoot over sandbags and chain link. They don't block shells. So you can have a chain link in your base and then move the medium tanks around and kill stuff. You can also have a chain links guarding your base while you have the turret push. If you build a concrete wall in this situation, you can screw yourself. But it's 75, so it's more expensive. So it still might be better to build a sandbag. We can put this here. It's the same shit. They have like one. We found one use for both of these, but we still haven't found any use for chain link. This is a campaign weapon, so it's OP, but it's so fine. We can't build it in multiplayer. And nobody takes to super weapons, so they actually don't have a use in the current meta. My last video before this was super weapons. I'm biased towards iron cannon. Yeah, you can watch that video. I like to screw around with the iron cannon. But the nuke is fun. It can kill a horde of light units. Okay. I want to push that these have some use. Good gamers use the super weapons. They're not super. If you see them as support weapons, that's better. Use these to support weapons, and it's great. So that's my tier list. Obviously, not everyone will agree, but that's fine. Leave a comment what you disagree with and what you agree with. If the game was balanced and we actually saw all of these fun units and super weapons like every single game, I might actually play it more. But 4 years was enough for me, and now it's just boring. Like I realized when I stopped thinking about everything but S tier units, just get my macro down on my APM, I just spam the buggies. Like I won one of the greatest players I always lost to. So it wasn't even satisfying to win with the buggy spam. It's just like, okay, I did the meta, that's it. Okay, I guess I beat the game. It's a bad RTS game. That's what I want to end this on. Command Conquer is a bad RTS game because it doesn't have any RTS. Stay tuned for more Stormgate. That's a game where you actually have to use all the units. A great RTS game. Stay tuned for that.